Hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. What I have here is that American lock that I don't have a key for. And I've put all the pins in here. And I'm just showing you what I do is if you've got a key cutter and everything, then fine. You can just cut whatever you need for this. But what I'm doing is I don't have a key cutter. I've got blanks, but that's a lot of filing. So I've got extra keys for some of my American locks, and I put this one in, and this key would work if I changed up the bitting. See, it's got some that are fairly close, one that's sticking high. But what I want to do is, because this lock was so difficult to open, I want to preserve the original bitting. So I've got another key here that's kind of flat. And when I stick that one in, I get what I want to see, which is none of them are fitting, but they can all be filed down. Let me get this guy to focus. Zoom in over here. You see, you push them all the way in. This one's still sticking up a little bit. Would you please focus, you stupid thing? Right, so that's what I'm going to do. It has the advantage this key has already been cut, so I don't have to worry about the spacing. All I got to do is mess with the depth, and I can just take a file and adjust those depths. And on the last one, yeah, he's still tall enough. Oh, don't want to do that. Don't want to drop that. Pins everywhere, and we need to know the sequence. I don't have it memorized, but that's how they sit. Like, guys, there's a little bit of oil in this thing. Anyways, that's what I just want to show you. That's just a little quickie way of see, this guy's the no lift, or barely lift. You might have to touch it slightly. But the rest of these guys are deep. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deepen up this bottom cut here. All of them are going to have to be filed on a little bit. And you just go slow. You just basically take out a little file, needle file, and put it in there, and then test it again and see if they're flush. And you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with that until, sorry, I want to get my little holder here to help prevent accidents quite as much. And you can kind of use this holder as a check, although it's not quite as good because the tolerances are higher. But just to see if it's sticking up when you turn, it'll definitely show you if they're way up, but it won't necessarily show you if they're partially up. So there you go. I'll put up the rest of this when I finish and I've got a completed key and everything. Okay, as you can see, I'm getting closer. I just got to take down number 5. Number 2 looks perfect. Number 1 is close. May have gone too far with number 3. That's your only problem, going too far. If a driver sticks in there, this may work, but the key may just kind of like hang when turning in the middle. But anyways, let me keep on going. Alright, so this is what I've got from a lot of filing. 1, 3, 4, and 5 are a little bit high, and 2 is about perfect. But it turns in this, and here's the key. This is what that bitting looked on that wicked one. You look at it and you would think that's pretty damn flat. But because this guy in the bottom here is like a no-toucher or almost no-touch, and the one right next to him. Anyway, I use my little nipper thing on some of them. The main files that came in handy where this one with just the ridges on either side, that was good for just going on your bottom cut. And then this triangular guy with a flat, no filings here on the base right here. Yeah. So what I would do is I'd go down with one for my depth, and then I'd go like this one for the side to profile them, to make them easier to lift in and out. And then also I would take the pins out and check them, because you know, sometimes this is not a key pin, but sometimes you've gone down deep enough with your cut, but what's hitting is the side of the pin. You know, the key pins have a pointy thing on them, but they're not that pointy, and they're kind of abrupt a lot of times. So anyways, that's the final key, and I'm going to assemble this thing all back together and see if it works. So, we have a key that looks like this, that fits into a lock like this, and opens it like that. Depending on how well you file this key, I mean, you know, get the key pins to line up. See how this one, it's hanging? Somehow you gotta turn it just a little bit. That's because it's not perfect. But it's better than locking this thing up and then having to pick it to get it to back open up again. So there's the key. I could get that one duplicated at a, you know, place that cuts keys if I wanted to. Or I could have taken the expedient of any of the ones with a little bit high, I'll just filing the top of the pins off. The problem with that is you're going with non-standard cut depths, and it's fine if you're doing it for yourself, but anybody goes to fix that or replace that would have to make a customized key pin. But there you go. It's just my little quickie way of, relatively quickie. And remember, when you go to put this in, test the lock before you close the shackle. Just put it in here and see if it'll turn. If it'll turn, even if it'll turn every once in a while, you can at least get it open. I looked in here also, and this one didn't have a, it didn't look like it had a bypass wafer in there. So I should have been able to bypass it with my bypass driver. But there you go. That's the bitting that was messing with us there. Jolly Peanut. Didn't look very wicked, but you get an older lock with grease and stuff in it and pins that are sticking, and yeah, it can be tricky. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful to you in some way.